Hi there, I'm Lian Duan. I have been a developer for 20 years, specialized in DevOps and cloud security. Today, I'll be guiding you through a hands-on demo on Terraform AWS Resource. Before we dive into, let me give you some context. In this video, we'll cover the following topics. What exactly is Terraform AWS Resource? How can you incorporate Terraform AWS Resource into your project? Understanding the life cycle of Terraform AWS Resource. Implicit dependencies versus explicit dependencies in AWS Resource. You will find all the markdown and access files related to the video on my GitLab page. I'll include the links below for your convenience. Now let's move to our first topic. What is Terraform AWS Resource? An AWS resource is an entity that you can provision and manage within an AWS Web Service within the Amazon Web Service infrastructure, like VPC, Subnet, Security Group, ECS, and much more. Each resource comes with its own set of properties, configuration options, and associated APIs for management. To explore all the supported AWS resources, you can refer to the official AWS Terraform API document. Now we understand the concept of Terraform AWS Resource. Let's learn how to add it to your project. We need to follow a couple of steps. First, you'll need to add the AWS provider to your main.tl file. If you need more detail of how to add and configure the AWS provider, I recommend checking out the Terraform provider upgrade video. Next, let's break down the components of the AWS resource format. Provider. This refers to the name of the Terraform provider for AWS. For example, the AWS provider typically specified as AWS. The provider is responsible for the managing resources within the specified cloud platform. Resource type. This represents the specified AWS resources type you want to create. Let me move a little bit down. For instance, if you want to create a subnet, the resource type would be subnet. Each AWS service has its own set of resource types. Resource name specifies a unique name for the resource in your project. It is good practice to give meaningful names to your resources to easily identify them within your project configuration. Properties and value. This defines configuration for the resource. If you'd like to see the AWS resources in action within a real-world project, I recommend watching the Using Terraform Create AWS ECS video. It includes the creation of VPC, Subnet, Security Group, root table, ECS cluster, task definition, service, and application load balance. Next, we move into lifecycle of Terraform AWS resource. The lifecycle of an AWS resource includes 4 stages: create, manage, update, and destroy in Terraform. To see the full life cycle, let's open the main.tl file from Using Terraform Create AWS ECS video. The file contains 14 resources. I use select start to come out 12 of them to focus on the resource life cycle. The first stage is create. During the create stage, Terraform providers will create AWS resource in your AWS account. Open the command window in the main.tl file path. When you run Terraform space apply command, little bit up, you will see green icon before the demo public sub 01 resource. The green icon means Terraform will create the resource. Enter yes. You see the demo public subnet 01 resource creating successfully. Second stage is manage. Once the resource is created, Terraform keeps track of the resource it manages in the state file. Let me open the file. The state file name is terraform.tfstate. When you open it, you can find the demo public subnet 01 in the state file. The state file records the mapping between the resources Terraform manages and their current state in your AWS account. When you make changes to your Terraform configuration, such as modify resource properties or adding a new resource, Terraform detects the difference between the desired state and the current state record in the Terraform file, and then it plans to action to convert infrastructure to the desired state. Let me make the windows bigger. You can use Terraform state list command to get all current resources, and Terraform state show plus resource name will render the resource details. There is a demo public subnet 01 details. Next stage is update. Update stage is responded by a tilde icon. There are two cases of updates: in place update and destroy create update. To showcase in place update, let me try modify the tags, remove the text, and then run Terraform plan. This best practice run command Terraform plan before Terraform apply command to see all the change. You see update in place. To demonstrate a destroy create updates, let me change the IP set block. Change the value 9 to value 2 and save. Run Terraform plan command again. Move a little bit up. You see the highlighted word, destroy, and then create replacement. Clean up the screen. Move the command window is a little bit bigger. The final stage, destroy. Terraform identify the resources specified in your Terraform configuration and process to destroy them. Enter. Enter yes. In this process, Terraform will move the resources information from terraform.tfstate file to terraform.tfstates.backup file. Let's back to the markdown file. You can find the lifecycle related commands and the screenshot on the markdown file. Latest topic is AWS Resource Dependencies. Terraform can handle AWS Resource Dependencies implicitly, so you don't need to have to worry about managing them manually. That's all for today's video. Thank you and see you in the next time.